Let's learn about the delicious macaroni and cheese. Before we do, give me the name of the Disney character that was named after a Northern California cheese. In the comments, be the first to do it correctly, and I pin you to the top. And also, I should say, we're in another rainstorm right now, so if you hear some rattling and pounding on the house, just let it thump you to sleep or calm you while you study or game. Here we go. Let's learn about the delicious macaroni and cheese. Macaroni and cheese, also called mac and cheese in the United States and macaroni cheese in the United Kingdom, is a dish of cooked macaroni pasta and a cheese sauce, most commonly cheddar. It can also incorporate other ingredients such as breadcrumbs or meat. Traditional macaroni and cheese is a casserole baked in the oven. However, it may be prepared in a saucepan on top of the stove or using a packaged mix. The cheese is often first incorporated into a bechamel sauce to create a Mornay sauce, which is then added to the pasta. In the United States, it is considered a comfort food. The history. Pasta and cheese casseroles were recorded in the 14th century in the Italian cookbook Liber de Coquina, which featured a dish of parmesan and pasta. A cheese and pasta casserole known as macarons was recorded in the 14th century medieval English cookbook The Form of Cury. It was made with fresh, hand-cut pasta, which was sandwiched between a mixture of melted butter and cheese. The recipe given in Middle English was: take and make a tin foil of dough, and carve it on pieces, and cast ham on boiling water, and seep it well. Take cheese and grate it, and butter cast bynethen and above as loisons, and seru forth. This is the above recipe in modern English. Make a thin foil sheet of dough and cut it into pieces. Place them in boiling water and boil them well. Take cheese and grate it and add it and place butter beneath and above as with loisons, a dish similar to lasagna, and serve forth. The first modern recipe for macaroni and cheese was included in Elizabeth Raffald's 1769 book, The Experienced English Housekeeper. Raffald's recipe is for a bechamel sauce with cheddar cheese, a Mornay sauce in French cooking, which is mixed with macaroni, sprinkled with parmesan, and baked until bubbly and golden. To dress macaroni with Parmesan or Parmesan cheese, boil 4 ounces of macaroni till it be quite tender, and lay it on a sieve to drain. Then put it on a tolling pan with about a gill of good cream, a lump of butter rolled in flour. Boil it 5 minutes, pour it on a plate, lay all over Parmesan cheese toasted, send it to the table on a water plate, for it soon goes cold. I'm just reading the article here, people. Another recipe from 1784 stated that the small tubes of macaroni must be boiled, then drained in a sifter before being moved into a frying pan. Heavy cream is then added to the macaroni along with a knob of butter rolled in flour, and it must be cooked for 5 minutes before being transferred to a dish and topped with toasted parmesan and pepper. The famous British Victorian cookbook, Mrs. Beeton's Book of Household Management, included 2 instances of macaroni as usually served with cheese course. One of them states, the macaroni, which should be tender but perfectly firm, no part being allowed to melt, and the form entirely preserved, lest one be tempted to cook it for so long it actually disintegrated, is then topped with more cheese, pepper, and breadcrumbs before receiving a final dose of melted butter for good measure, and being placed before a bright fire to brown the crumbs, or grilled with a salamander broiler. In the United Kingdom during the 2010s since, it has seen a surge in popularity, becoming widespread as a meal and as a side order in both fast food and upmarket restaurants. Let's talk about the U.S. history. The U.S. President Thomas Jefferson and James Hemings, his chief, encountered macaroni in Paris and brought the recipe book to Monticello. Jefferson drew a sketch of the pasta and wrote detailed notes on the extrusion process. In 1793, he commissioned the U.S. ambassador to France, William Short, to purchase a machine for making it. Evidently, the machine was not suitable, as Jefferson later imported both macaroni and Parmesan cheese for his use at Monticello. In 1802, Jefferson served a pie called macaroni at a state dinner. The menu of the dinner was reported by Reverend Manasseh Cutler, who apparently was not fond of the cheesy macaroni casserole. Nevertheless, since that time, baked macaroni and cheese has remained popular in the United States. A recipe called Macaroni and Cheese appeared in the 1824 cookbook, The Virginia Housewife, written by Mary Randolph. Randolph's recipe had 3 ingredients: macaroni, cheese, and butter, layered together and baked in a hot oven. The cookbook was the most influential cookbook of the 19th century, according to culinary historian Karen Hess. Similar recipes for macaroni and cheese occur in the 1852 Handbook of Useful Arts and the 1861 Godey's Ladies Book. By the mid-1880s, cookbooks as far west as Kansas and Festus, Missouri, included recipes for macaroni and cheese casseroles. Factory production of the main ingredients made the dish affordable, and recipes made it accessible, but not notably popular. As it became accessible to a broader section of society, macaroni and cheese lost its upper-class appeal. As for its Canadian history, macaroni and cheese was brought to Canada by British immigrants coming from other parts of the British Empire. Macaroni and cheese recipes have been attested in Canada since at least modern practical cookery in 1845, which suggests a puff pastry lining, suggesting upper-class refinement, a sauce of cream, egg yolks, mace, and mustard, and grated Parmesan or Cheshire cheese on top. Canadian cheddar cheese was also becoming popularized at this time and was likely also used during that era. Macaroni and cheese is very popular in contemporary Canada. Kraft Dinner is the most popular brand of packaged macaroni and cheese. Sasha Chapman, writing in The Walrus, considered it to be Canada's national dish, ahead of poutine. In fact, Canadians purchased nearly 25% of the 7 million boxes of Kraft Dinner sold worldwide each week. And regional variations. Pasta other than macaroni are often used. Almost any shortcut extruded pasta and many of the decorative cut pasta will do, particularly those with folds and pockets to hold the cheese. The dish may still be referred to as macaroni and cheese when made of a different pasta, while shells and cheese are sometimes used when it's made with conchiglie. While cheddar cheese is most commonly used for macaroni and cheese, other cheeses may also be used, usually sharp in flavor, and 2 or more cheeses can be combined. Other cheeses can be used, such as Gruyere, Gouda, Havarti, and Jarlsberg cheeses. Macaroni and cheese can be made by simply layering slices of cheese and pasta, often with butter or evaporated milk, then baking in a casserole rather than preparing as a cheese sauce. Also, some like to include a crunchy topping to their baked macaroni and cheese by topping it off with breadcrumbs or crushed crackers, which also keeps the noodles on top from drying out when baking. One novelty presentation is deep-fried macaroni and cheese found at fairs and food carts. In Scotland, macaroni and cheese can often be found in pies, known endearingly as a macaroni pie. Macaroni and cheese pizza can be found in some American restaurants such as Cici's. A similar traditional dish in Switzerland is called Alpermagronen, Alpine Herders macaroni, which is also available in boxed versions. Alpermagronen are made of macaroni, cream, cheese, roasted onions, and in some recipes, potatoes. In the canton of Uri, the potatoes are traditionally omitted, and in some regions, bacon or ham is added. The cheese is often Emmental cheese or Appenzeller cheese. It is usually accompanied by applesauce. Extra ingredients sometimes incorporated include bacon, jalapenos, tomatoes, onions, peppers, leeks, dried herbs, Tabasco sauce, sautéed mushrooms, chicken, ham, ground beef, roast beef, sliced hot dogs, spam, lobster, canned tuna or salmon, peas, carrots, and broccoli. Prepared and packaged mixes. Packaged macaroni and cheese are available in frozen form or as boxed ingredients for simplified preparation. Boston Market, Michelina's, Kraft Foods, Cracker Barrel, and Stouffer's are some of the more recognizable brands of prepared and frozen macaroni and cheese available in the United States. Macaroni and cheese loaf, a deli meat which contains both macaroni and processed cheese bits, can be found in some stores. A variety of packaged mixes that are prepared in a saucepan on the stove or in a microwave oven are available. They are usually modeled on Kraft macaroni and cheese, known as Kraft Dinner or KD in Canada, which was introduced in 1937 with the slogan, "Make a meal for four in 9 minutes." It was an immediate success in the US and Canada amidst the economic hardships of the Depression. During the Second World War, rationing led to increased popularity for the product, which could be obtained 2 boxes for 1 food rationing stamp. The 1953 Better Homes and Gardens cookbook includes a recipe using Velveeta, which had been reformulated in that year. The boxed Kraft product is popular in Canada, where it is the most purchased grocery item in the country. Boxed mixes consist of uncooked pasta and either a liquid cheese sauce, often labeled deluxe, or powdered ingredients to prepare it. The powdered cheese sauce is mixed with either milk or water and margarine, butter, or olive oil and added to the cooked pasta. Some mixes prepared in a microwave cook the pasta in the sauce. Another popular variant is jarred macaroni cheese sauce, which is especially popular in the UK and US, available under the Dolmio and Ragu brands, among others. The pasta is purchased and prepared separately, then mixed with the heated cheese sauce. Powdered cheese sauce, very similar to what is found inside a box of macaroni and cheese mix, is also sold without the pasta. This product is produced by several companies, most notably Bisto, Cabot, Annie's, and Kraft Foods. A number of different products on the market use this basic formulation with minor variations in ingredients. Although high in carbohydrates, calories, fat, and salt, macaroni and cheese is a source of protein, and certain variations of the dish can decrease the negative health aspects. That depends on what you consider healthy. I think Greg Doucette would have a word or two to say about that, and I would probably agree with him. That also will not stop me from eating it when I feel like eating something delicious, because I'm not a maniac. And that was also way quicker than I thought it would be. So guess what? I'm going to go ahead and do what I was going to do before and read about Kraft Dinner. The reason I did not is I have viewers from the UK and Canada, and I was worried that if I just read about Kraft macaroni and cheese, I would lose some people in the "what the hell are you talking about" category. But after learning that Canada literally buys most of the macaroni and cheese in the world, and some consider it to be a national dish over poutine, I'm going to go ahead and read also about Kraft Dinner. Here we go. Kraft Dinner. The product known as Kraft Dinner, Katie in Canada, Kraft Macaroni and Cheese in the US and Australia, and macaroni cheese in the UK, is a non-perishable packaged dry macaroni product by Kraft Foods Group, traditionally cardboard boxed with dried macaroni pasta and a packet of processed cheese powder. It was first introduced under the Kraft Dinner name simultaneously in both Canada and the US in 1937. The brand is popular with Canadians who consume 55% more boxes per capita than Americans. There are now many similar products, including private label of non-perishable boxed macaroni and cheese. Commercially, the line has evolved with deluxe varieties marketed with liquid processed cheese, as well as microwavable frozen mac and cheese meals. The product by Kraft has developed into many flavor variations and formulations, including Easy Mac, a product that has been renamed Macaroni and Cheese Dinner Cups, a single-serving product designed specifically for microwave oven. The product's innovation at the time of the Great Depression was to conveniently market non-perishable dried macaroni noodles together with a processed cheese powder. The product is prepared by cooking the pasta and adding the cheese powder along with additional perishable and/or refrigerated ingredients such as butter or margarine and milk. The product is thus a simple to prepare, affordable, and meatless family dinner. And its history. The prerequisite to a shelf-stable packaged macaroni and cheese product was the invention of processed cheese, where emulsifying salts help stabilize the product, giving it a longer life. Although James Lewis Kraft, originally of Fort Erie, Ontario, was living in Chicago, did not invent processed cheese. He won a patent for one processing method in 1916 and began to build his cheese business. During the Great Depression, a St. Louis, Missouri salesman, Grant Leslie of Dundee, Scotland, had the idea to sell macaroni, pasta, and cheese together as a package, so he began attaching grated cheese to boxes of pasta with a rubber band. In 1937, Kraft introduced the product in the US and Canada. The timing of the product's launch had much to do with its success during World War II, rationing of milk and dairy products, an increased reliance on meatless meals, and more women working outside the home created a large market for the product, which was considered a hearty meal for families. Its shelf life of 10 months was attractive at a time when many Canadian homes did not have refrigerators. Also, consumers could receive for one food ration stamp 2 boxes. The original box was primarily yellow. 50 million boxes were sold during the war. The box's primary color changed to blue in 1954, later used in an advertising campaign where children were encouraged to ask for the big blue box. A version with spiral-shaped noodles debuted in 1975, while Velveeta shells and cheese were introduced in 1984. A single-serving variation requiring only water for preparation was introduced as Easy Mac in 1999. In 2006, the cheddar and white cheddar versions switched to organic macaroni, while Easy Mac cups were introduced the same year. The following year, the noodles switched to 50% whole grain. Macaroni and cheese crackers also debuted in 2007. The crackers were discontinued in 2008 as they did not meet company targets. A subline, Homestyle Deluxe, was added in 2010 in 3 flavors: cheddar, 4 cheese sauce, and Old World Italian. Kraft macaroni and cheese sold in the United States to include Yellow 5 and Yellow 6 to make the food a brighter color. In Europe, food that contains Yellow 5 requires a warning label saying this product may have adverse effects on activity and attention in children. In 2014, none of the European varieties were made with artificial dyes. On November 1st, 2013, Kraft announced that new pasta pasta-shaped varieties for children in the U.S. would no longer include yellow 5 and yellow 6, and there would be a decrease in the sodium and saturated fat content and 6 more grams of whole grains. In April 2015, it was announced that those changes, including the elimination of artificial preservatives, would be extended throughout the line after January 2016. Paprika, annatto, and turmeric were used for coloring. According to Kraft, the changes were a response to consumer feedback. In 2018, Kraft Heinz introduced the KD Shaker, which was a plastic bottle of Kraft Mac and Cheese Dinner's powder cheese, allowing one to use the cheese powder as they wish without needing to worry about unused pasta. The product is similar to shelf-stable Parmesan cheese powder bottle cans. In Canadian culture, Kraft Dinner has been called the de facto national dish of Canada. Packaged in Quebec with Canadian wheat and milk and other ingredients from Canada and the U.S., Canadians purchase 1.7 million of the 7 million boxes sold globally each week and eat an average of 3.2 boxes of Kraft Dinner each year, 55% more than Americans. Unreal. The meal is the most popular grocery item in the country, where Kraft Dinner has iconic status and has become a generic trademark of sorts for macaroni and cheese. It is often simply referred to by the initials KD, as Kraft Dinner has a different name in Canada from the United States and other markets. The Canadian marketing and advertising platform is a made-in-Canada effort that cannot be easily adapted to the U.S. market. Pundit Rex Murphy wrote that Kraft Dinner revolves in that all but unobtainable orbit of the Tim Hortons donut and the A&W Teen burger. It is one of that great trinity of quick digestibles that have been enrolled as genuine Canadian cultural icons. Douglas Copeland wrote that cheese plays a weirdly large dietary role in the lives of Canadians who have a more intimate and intense relationship with Kraft food products than the citizens of any other country. This is not a shameless product plug. For some reason, Canadians and Kraft products have bonded the way Australians have bonded with Marmite, or the English with Heinz baked beans. In particular, Kraft Macaroni and Cheese, known simply as Kraft Dinner, is the biggie, probably because it so precisely laser targets the favored Canadian food groups: fat, sugar, starch, and salt. Immigrants often mention Kraft Dinner when surveys ask for examples of Canadian food. As a measure of the product's Canadian popularity, its Facebook page, KD Battlezone, attracted 270,000 fans, despite there being no prizes for the contest. Canadian rock band Bare Naked Ladies refer to the product in their popular song "If I Had $1 Million," indicating that they would continue to eat the inexpensive foodstuff even if they were millionaires. This has often prompted fans at live concerts to throw boxes of Kraft Dinner onto the stage when the line is sung. The band has discouraged this and have urged fans to donate the boxes to their local food bank instead. Former Prime Minister Paul Martin regularly referred to it as his favorite food, though also confessed that he was unable to prepare it. During the same election, former Prime Minister Stephen Harper stated that "I'll never be able to give my kids $1 billion company, but Laureen and I are saving for their education, and I've actually cooked them Kraft Dinner. I like to add wieners." Most Canadians ignore the instructions and believe that they have a unique way of preparing the food, like adding wieners or cheese. Additional ingredients are not necessary. Simply adjusting the cooking time and the amount of milk or butter, margarine, can produce a dish ranging from soft noodles in a creamy sauce to firm noodles in a thin, milky sauce. In the September 2012 issue of The Walrus magazine, the story "Kraft Dinner is Canada's True National Dish" by Sasha Chapman details the history of the Canadian cheese industry and Kraft's impact on it. She notably draws attention to Canada being unique in favoring a manufactured food product made by a foreign company as its national dish at the expense of local cheeses. Chapman's article is structured around this question from the first page. But what does it mean if a national dish is manufactured, formulated by scientists in a laboratory in Glenview, Illinois, and sold back to us by the second largest food company in the world? Kraft Dinner is a frequent staple of Canadian university student diets. Consequently, university students protesting government funding cuts and tuition hikes have often used Kraft Dinner as props to draw attention to their plight. Ingredients and nutrition. A single serving of original flavor is 2 ounces of dry noodles, cheese powder with a 1/4 tablespoon margarine, and a 1/2 cup milk. It has 240 calories and is high in sodium, saturated fat, and total carbohydrate. The ingredients include pasta from wheat, cheese sauce, mix, dried whey from milk, cheddar cheese, salt, butter, natural flavors, color from paprika, turmeric, and annatto, citric acid, acidulant, and sodium phosphates. Preparation. The box describes a simple 3-step process. The cooking instructions for preparing the dinner. The 1, 2, 3 directions include boil, drain, and add. Boiling is further defined as boiling water and adding the pasta with no reference to added salt or covering the pan. The directions indicate the pasta cooking time, usually as a range. The drain step shows a colander being used. The last step, add, says to add all the ingredients back to the pot with no reference to whether to leave the pot on the stove or turn off the burner and mix thoroughly. Although many people have their own personal preferences for quantities of added ingredients, the box has a classic prep list that says to use 6 cups of water, 1 tablespoon margarine, and 1/3 cup of skim milk. People may also vary the cooking instructions to their personal preference, which may include adding salt to the water or omitting ingredients like milk. Variations. New product lines using different flavors and pasta shapes have been introduced over the decades, and the shelf life has at various times been increased. Kraft Dinner is seen as an inexpensive, easy-to-make comfort food with marketing that highlights its value and convenience. The product is now available in a variety of compositions. The original recipe of dry macaroni pasta, roughly 172 grams, and 70 milliliters, roughly 42 grams, of powdered processed cheese. This category includes additional flavors of powdered cheese sauce. See flavors and shapes below. I didn't need to say that, but I did. The deluxe form with the powdered processed cheese replaced with a prepared processed cheese sauce that comes in a foil pouch. Cheese sauce formerly came in a can. This allows the cheese to be applied directly to the cooked pasta without additional preparation or ingredients. The pasta is also different. Elbow macaroni replaces the thin, straight macaroni supplied as part of the original recipe. The home-style form is the newest form of Kraft mac and cheese. It is similar to the deluxe form, though it provides a large size and includes seasoned breadcrumbs to apply to the macaroni and cheese. It comes in 3 flavors: cheddar cheese, 4 cheese, and Old World Italian. It is marketed as being a more premium option for those who would not eat the original recipe. This version also has the prepared processed cheese sauce that comes in a foil pouch. Due to the breadcrumbs topping, this form has more sodium than the deluxe or original recipe forms. As of 2015, this variant has now been discontinued due to lack of demand. Dinner cups, formerly Kraft Easy Mac, which makes single-serving portions. This formulation is prepared in a microwave oven and is popular among college students. A commercial version is manufactured for restaurant distribution that is frozen, fully prepared product which is designed to be heated in a microwave. The product can be found at Burger King and Applebee's restaurants. In summer of 2021, Kraft Heinz released a selection of stir-in flavor boosters in the Canadian market. In total, there are 6 different Kraft Dinner flavor boosts in the following flavors: jalapeno, butter chicken, poutine, buffalo wings, ghost pepper, and cotton candy. These packets are added to a prepared pot of Kraft Dinner and are designed to enhance the experience by providing a new and delicious flavor variation for the eater. Kraft Dinner Smart. Kraft Dinner Smart, also known as KD Smart, launched as a healthy sub-brand of the Kraft Dinner brand. It represents a line of Kraft macaroni and cheese products that contain no artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives, and have added ingredients like cauliflower, oats, or flaxseed blended into the noodles. It comes in 4 varieties. Kraft Dinner Smart originally launched in Canada in March 2010 with 2 vegetable varieties. In June 2011, the lineup was relaunched with new packaging graphics and 2 new varieties, Flax Omega-3 and High Fiber. The product is made with real Kraft cheddar and is manufactured in Mount Royal, Quebec. Flavors and shapes. The shapes come in the original tenderoni, various pop culture icons, alphabet, numbers, and spirals. Organic and whole grain versions are offered. A larger box called family sized is offered. Original recipe, thick and creamy, 3 cheese and cheddar explosion. And the marketing. The product was originally marketed as Kraft Dinner with the slogan, "A meal for 4 in 9 minutes for an everyday price of 19 cents. It was rebranded to Kraft Macaroni and Cheese in the United States and other countries, although the word dinner still appears in small type on the US version. In several markets, it goes by different names. In the UK, it is also marketed as cheesy pasta. The product is heavily promoted toward children in the United States on television. When advertising to younger children, the television advertisement encourages the children to ask for the blue box. In 2010, Kraft launched a $50 million multimedia marketing campaign with a nostalgia theme aimed to adults to promote all varieties of Kraft Dinner. In Canada, Kraft has advertising programs intended to make the meal appealing to newly arrived immigrant groups. There are regular promotional tie-in versions of the Kraft Dinner aimed at kids. Packages have come with pasta in the shapes of various characters popular with children, such as Looney Tunes, Super Mario Bros., and Star Wars. Kraft Foods has also released many products under the product banner. These include other versions of macaroni and cheese with different shaped pasta and different flavors, but it has also included completely different dishes such as spaghetti and several different flavors. In promotion of the introduction of its cheddar explosion variety of Kraft Dinner, Kraft sponsored the demolition of Texas Stadium April 11th, 2010. In its last act, 2009, the Irving, Texas City Council made Kraft Macaroni and Cheese the official sponsor of the demolition. Kraft paid $75,000 to local charities and donated $75,000 in Kraft products. A national essay contest directed at children who have made a difference in their community was held, with the winner allowed to push the button initiating the controlled demolition. The winning essayist was 11-year-old Casey Rogers of Terrell, Texas, founder of a charity serving the homeless. And we have a gallery, if you can see it. Got over here. Oh, you can kind of see that if I move. Kraft macaroni and cheese preparation, pot of boiling water with pasta inside, package of cheese powder labeled Kraft cheese sauce mix, and a colander to separate the noodles from the cooking water. Yep. The American version of the cheese sauce powder, originally the cheese sauce mix. And it shows the milk butter and the cheese powder added. Various people's snapshots of Kraft mac and cheese. That's the end of it, so I guess I could move to let you guys see some pictures. There's American Kraft mac and cheese on a plate in Sweden, garnished with fresh spinach leaves. And over here is a Canadian meal Kraft Dinner with added cheddar that has been integrated with a sliced vegetarian hot dog and accompanied by fresh tomato slices. Kraft Easy Mac, close-up showing an orange glistening from the liquid cheese sauce that surrounds the noodles. Hey, look. I'll take it anyway. I'll take it like gooey, cheesy, where there's straight up cheese just like stretching. You can lift it all the way up here and the cheese is stretching. Or I'll even take a cheese sauce where the ratio of milk to powder is like na, and I'm pretty much like eating a macaroni and cheese soup. Dude, I'll do that too. Just put it in me and I'm okay. Don't soundbite that. And that's it. That's the end of the macaroni and cheese video. I'm surprised my camera didn't run out. One of the reasons I did this, I was like, oh, I need something quick and fun because my camera only has like 45 minutes on it, or 48 SD card in it. And so right away, if I think fun, I think food, okay? Even though video games themselves are very fun, Wiki reads are incredibly difficult to get through. Like a big one, like an hour and a half video game Wiki read is not the most fun thing to do. It's fun learning, but it's not as fluid as these food ones. Oh, that's my cue to go. You hear the airplane? You hear the airplane? There's the airplane, and I'm going with this. Macaroni and cheese, not a sponsor. It's just, ironically, here it is. Okay, I'm going to talk over this plane. I'll see you guys later. I'm sorry if it woke you up. Talk to me in the comments. I'll talk to you in the comments also. See you guys. Bye. A similar traditional dish in Switzerland is called Alpermagronen. A similar traditional,